Feeling like taking a coffee break? So do I. What about we talk about Java during this coffee break? About the difference between the preview feature and the features that we have in each new version of the JDK, and about one feature that is extremely interesting for us developers, that is about the error messages we got from the null pointer exceptions. In a new release of Java, there are two kinds of features. They are the regular features and they are the preview features. And in Java 14, we have both. So first of all, what is a feature and what is a preview feature? Well, you know that the JDK is composed of a bunch of classes. There are so many that it's becoming harder and harder to count them. For instance, you have the string classes that everybody knows because every application uses the string class. Now, the string class has a set of methods, and if in a version of the JDK you decide to add a method to the string class or to modify the behavior of a method, then you're adding or modifying a feature. A feature is just that, it's something that you can do with a class. But that's not the only thing. It could also be a language feature. Think about Java 8, for instance. Lambda expressions were added to Java 8. Well, lambda expressions are a new syntax available in the Java language, and as such, they are a new feature of the language. So basically, a feature from the developer point of view is something that you can do as a developer. It may be a language feature or it may be an API feature. Great. Now, there's something you need to know. Java has been released in 1995-ish, something like that. And from the very beginning, there is a principle that has been carved in marble, which is Java is backward compatible. What does it mean? It means that if you take some Java code back from the 90s, compiled on a very old and very obsolete version of Java, you can still run it without having to recompile it on a modern JVM, that is on a version of Java that is, for instance, 14. And this is a very important feature of Java. I don't know of any other language that offers that to you, right? If you spend a certain amount of money 20 years ago investing in the software, well, you may still be making money with that investment because that piece of software is still running on modern JVMs. And this is just awesome. All right, so when a feature is added to Java, whether it is a language feature or an API feature, it is here to stay. It will stay forever. And this has a cost, right? You need to be sure that the feature you're adding to the language is the right one, because if it's not, then you will have to live with that bug forever. And trust me, forever is a very long time. That's the reason why when a new version of Java is released, there are the features that are here to stay and the preview features. The preview features are hidden features. You cannot use them by default. They will not show up in your way when you're just writing your production code. You need to add some flags to the compiler for the compiler to compile those preview features, and you also need to add some flags to the JVM to be able to run those preview features. So why adding preview features to a new version of Java? Well, it's just for you to test them. You can activate those flags, write the new code, use the new methods from the new classes, use the new language features, and see if you're okay with them. What you can do also is try to compile and run and test your own applications with those preview features activated, just to see if those preview features are bringing backward incompatibility with the existing code. This is extremely interesting and many people are doing that. And a new feature is just that. A new feature is just a new feature. It is something that is added to the language, to the JVM, to the JDK, and that is here to stay, and that is available for you to use it. So in Java 14, we have 2 features and 3 preview features. Features, we have a new syntax for the switch expression, which is really great. We have a feature called helpful null pointer exception messages, and we're going to cover that in details. And as preview features, we have text blocked, we have pattern matching for instance of, and we have this awesome preview feature called the records. So today, I would like to talk about null pointer exception helpful messages. So let us see that. We have an array list with 4 elements in it, and one of those elements is null. First of all, let me just display the size of this list, print out the result, and indeed the size is 4, fine. Let me now get the element 3, which is 4, and print out the length. And this length should be 4, which is the case. Great. But now if I ask for the element with the index 2 and get the length, I will have the classical null pointer exception message, right? Telling me that I have a null pointer exception on the given line of my source code. But in that case, I am left with some analysis to do. Is it strings that is null, or is it strings.getOf2, getOfIndex, that is null? This information is not present in the error message. So let me activate the same by running Java version 14. This is a 14 version of Java that we are running. And I'm first going to launch the exact same code, but this time in a command prompt. And indeed, I have the same result with the same null pointer exception message as we had in the IDE. So now let me just add this flag, -XX, and after that, plus show code details in exception messages, and run the code again. This flag is the flag that is going to activate those smart error messages. So let us run that, and you can see now that the error message is exactly what I need, right? It now tells me that the string.length method cannot be invoked because list.getInt returned a null value. So in that case, it's the exact error message we need, the exact information we need to be able to debug our code. So you may be asking yourself, why is this not activated by default? What's the difference between a feature and a preview feature? Well, first of all, this error message is a feature. So it has been integrated in Java 14 and it is here to stay. It will stay forever as a feature. It's not activated by default for two main reasons. The first one is a performance reason. This error message takes time to generate, and maybe if you are on a very critical application, you do not want to spend this time in generating those error messages. So if you move to Java 14, it's not activated by default, so you will not have to pay the performance cost of generating those messages. If you need them and can afford them, then you can just activate them and it's fine. The second reason is a little more subtle. It's a security reason. This kind of error message leaks some information about the structure of your code in your error messages. It can give the name of classes in your object model, for instance. And maybe you don't want this information to leak in your log files. So if this is the case for you, just do not activate this flag and you will have the classical error message. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.